it's everyone. It's Patrick here. I've been up for like an hour. I'm getting tired, but this is the last one. This is the items. Kind of categorized them. So there's like tank items that make you tankier, or like make so you can't get hit or less likely to be hit. There's spellcaster items, things that help you cast spells or cast more spells. These two are kind of put in the middle. These two because they kind of do both. But this one is like damage. These help you do more damage or help you with damage and whatnot. And then these are just the one cost items because they're weird. So anyway, let's just talk about stuff. First up, light chainmail. Uh, I can see chainmail being good. I just feel like it's overshadowed by worm scale mail. It's really hard to change items because if you make light chainmail cheaper, then there's no reason to take worm scale mail because then you can just take these two items. You can't really change worm scale mail because it's supposed to be a discount on these two items. So I don't know. I think chainmail is fine as is, to be honest. It just seems like most of the time you'd rather take a worm scale mail because armor and an extra health is quite big because armor works really well with extra health. So it's just seems like if you're gonna take chainmail, you might just want to take the extra gold or spend the extra gold in item slot just for worm scale. It's just my opinion. Felguard's battlesuit. I think it's really. Oh, jeez, I'm yawning all the time. Felguard's is pretty good, specifically on like Tristan or like uh, really tanky Argog and stuff like that. Units that really want to sit there and just be able to take damage because armor 1 and health regen are pretty good together. You can go in, take some damage, and then retreat, and then slowly heal it back. And with the armor, makes it so you're less likely to take damage again. So Felguards is like the ultimate tank item if you can make it work. Most people would prefer Worm Scale Mail just because it's a guaranteed extra health. And the health regen might not proc. I think that's the main problem people have with it. Same with the Magic Resist. Magic Resist Knight might not even come into play. So I think that's the main issue with Wormscale and Felguards. I think Felguards is fine as is if you can force the health regen to proc. That's my opinion. Light Null Cloak. You really can't change anything about it. I think this is about as good as you're gonna get. It's 2 gold and its magic is just 1, but there's not a lot of things you want to magic resist. Again, I think Knight's Null Cloak is fine. It's just because you can't really change anything about it. But I don't know. All the shields are fine. 1 gold for 1 shield, and then like 2 gold for 2, 3 for 3, yada yada. These are usually what people get if they just want a little bit, be a little bit tanky, but not splooge on stuff. Like chainmail and kite shield. Most people take kite shield because they can usually get more health out of it for like a Caladrix or something, or like just like a one and done Argog, like a speed dog for high rat. But I think chainmail is good for like a weird hybrid hero, and kite shield is like I just want to take 1 hit and be fine. Bulwark boots are pretty strong if you can like make a like I think for units like Caladrix, Bulwark boots is really strong because you can position them in a way to where your opponent can't end their turn next to him, and so therefore charging into him doesn't work. He has camouflage, which makes ranged attacks not work. So you can be immune to a lot of things. Caladrix can. But he has 4 health, so I guess he's easy to kill. I think Bulwark Boots is a pretty underrated buy. I think I'd rather take a Bulwark Boots than Kite Shield. It's just me though, because if Tristan can be unkillable, he can make anyone unkillable with Bulwark Boots. Vitality Charms are pretty ass. The Kite Shields are half the price and they pretty much do the same thing. The only way Vitality Charm works is if you're going to heal him afterwards. That's like it. I really don't know how to change Vitality Charms. It just seems really hard. You could probably give him, make it be health regen. 2, I don't know. Vitality Charm 1 is 1 health. 2 is 1 health and health regen. 3 is 2 health, health regen, 1 health, health regen 2, or something. It's like a rework. I don't know. I feel like Vitality Charms could do something. And Thorn Mail gives you physical damage return. This can work same way as Bulwark Boots can, is you really don't want to hit anyone with Thorn Mail. Like Argog with Swift Counter Strike and Thorn Mail pretty much means no one's ever going to want to hit you. If the enemy team's full physical damage and you have Thorn Mail and Counter Strike, he's going to kill like 3 things. I guarantee it almost, I feel like. Because he's just going to instantly kill everything that... If something hits him, he's going to kill it back, essentially. So it's really hard to hit into him. For the mana items, Arcane Stone. I think Arcane Stone could be more expensive. Like 4 gold or 2 item slots or something. I'd prefer like an extra gold just because Arcane Stone compared to the energy charms is pretty much infinite value. If you survive, if your hero survives round 7, you got 6 mana for 3 gold. That's that's like 4 times as effective as energy charm. Because for 6 mana, or for 6 gold, you're getting 3 mana. If this is 3 gold, you're getting 6 mana. So it's way infinitely more cost effective than the energy charms. I think this could easily be more expensive, just so that once it pays back, it's a lot later than these. Rod of Asmodee, I think is perfectly fine if you just need some cast range. Because it really works well for Anwin and Carthul specifically. Because Carthul's, all of his abilities are 2 range, so getting an extra range keeps him alive longer. And for Aurelia, it's for Quicken, because Quicken, you can have an extra range on Quicken, because Quicken's not combinable. Just helps with that. So, other than those 2, I think Rod's, I mean, even if you not from those 2, Rod's alright. Extra cast range is, in a way, extra health, because you can be a bit farther away from the enemy and still do effective things. Izabek's staff is really... It's kind of weird, in all honesty. Because, in a way, you can kind of compare it to Arcane Stone. Gee. You can kind of compare Izabek's staff to Arcane Stone in a way, in that you're using Izabek's staff to save mana. The only way Izabek's staff isn't like Arcane Stone is if you're using the max level ability like Lightning Strike 3 or something. But like, if you compare it to Sunstrike, like Sunstrike 1, 2, and 3. If you take Sunstrike 3, it's 3 mana for 3 damage. Or you can take Izabek's staff and Sunstrike 2 to save a mana. At that point, it's really similar to Sunstrike. If it's like Lightning Strike 1 and Lightning Strike 2, like these are kind of similar. You're saving a mana to do an extra damage, so they're pretty similar in that way. That's all I'm gonna say. Wizard gear is a combination of Energy Charm, Asmodee, and Arcane Stone. So pretty cost effective. If you want Arcane Stone and Rite of Asmodee, and you still want mana, sure, take the Wexen's gear. You're saving you're saving a gold and an item slot, so it's actually really effective for what you're getting. And then I think one of the energy charms, Arcane Stone is just better for like Arcane Stone just be more expensive. Similar to the Vitality charms, I really don't know what they could do to change it. I think it needs to be changed. Needs to be some rework or something. I don't know what. I think it could be changed in a way. The Enchanter's Boots is speed boots, a boost of speed, and energy charm. If you want to move faster and have an extra mana, sure, take Enchanter's Boots. It is 5 gold, and that's pretty expensive, but if you need the extra mana and you want boots of speed, might as well take it. And Crystal Sword is short sword and energy charm. If you need the extra mana and you want the power, Crystal Sword, why not? I'll talk about all the swords first. I'll talk about the other ones. Short sword is your pretty standard. Just I want to do an extra damage kind of weapon. You mainly see short sword on like Aurelia, Tristan, and Calyrex because the difference between 3 power and 4 power is pretty big. Argog can take it for 5 power and be like a heavy knight or like ultra knight in a way. But 4 power, he's usually happy with just 4 power, so he doesn't need short sword. Yeah, he'd rather spend the money elsewhere. But for Aurelia, Tristan, and Calyrex, short sword is pretty alright. I think it's fine. I forgot I'm supposed to talk about stuff, but I mean, I think most of these things are fine. Thornmail's fine. Again, I don't know how you change about No Cloak. I think all of these things are fine. Isabex is in a weird spot, but I think it's fine. I think everything's fine. Everything I talked about. Thornmail is pretty niche, but I still think it's fine. But short sword, I think it's fine as is. I don't think it's too oppressive or anything. Sunblade gives you imbued. If your army doesn't have much magic damage and you're putting a lot of investment in your hero, I would recommend Sunblade because just having like that option really helps out. Like for example, if you're Tristan, you can have a Sunblade and have the rest of your army be physical damage, and the Sunblade will deal with any sort of armor or physical damage return because Sunblade works really well against that. And then Broadsword is plus 2 power for 4 gold, 2 item slots. This is for I want to kill literally everything on the enemy team board in one hit. That's what Broadsword is for. I think it's a pretty high risk item in my opinion because you're putting a lot of money into his power. 1 second, please. Sorry about that. I'm not editing that out either, so you're just gonna hear that. Broadsword's pretty high risk, high reward because you're putting a lot of money into power, and you only have 1 item slot to increase your defense. So pretty risky. You can also do Broadsword, short sword if you really want to be a baller, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I think Broadsword's also fine. Oh, Jesus Christ. I haven't had any complaints with it. Velocity and boost of speed, I'm kind of going to rank together because I think they go hand in hand pretty well. Velocity Greaves gives people charging. The 2 heroes that usually take Velocity Greaves is Caladrix and Argog. Because both have no way to get natural charging. I'm not counting Swift Strike, that thing is ass. So they usually take Velocity Greaves to give them charging. Tristan's too slow to utilize charging very well. And Aurelia has an ability that gives her charging. So usually Argog and Caladrix take this. I think it's fine. In my opinion, there's no real. I think it's expensive enough to where it's worth it, and I think velocity greaves are fine. Boost of speed. There was someone. Everyone thought they were like subpar, and then the guy came in. Rat. He came in with his speedy Argog, with boost of speed and velocity greaves with Omni Slash, and he would just run into the enemy team round one, get a really good Omni Slash position, and then just Omni Slash and kill the entire enemy board. And then he would just call it a day. So boost of speed and velocity greaves work really well together because it's 4 movement charging, and that's really scary, especially on a hero. The rest of these are just 1 gold items. You kind of just throw these on if you have a gold left over usually. Demon Tooth Dagger is nice because it's no item slots. It is legendary, so you can only take 1. But at the start of your turn, you can throw it, essentially to deal an extra damage to an enemy nearby. I really wish it had pure damage. It had pure damage before, but you had to like waste the whole action throwing it instead of at the start of your turn. I really don't see why it doesn't have true damage because it's a one-time thing. It's literally just a one-and-done thing. You can't have multiple of these. You can't recycle it. So I think if it had pure damage, I think it'd be fine, in all honesty. I don't think it'd be broken or anything. Especially since it's legendary. Healing Potion is like a pseudo health regen. It's nice. You can take multiple of these, which is also really cool. So it's nice to have, but once you take multiple of these, it starts being a little bit risky because you might not be able to use them. That's like the only thing, but I think Healing Potion's fine. Talisman of Precision is the only 1 gold item that takes up an item slot. That makes it so that your ranged attacks can have -1 range to gain piercing 1. But it can't be reduced below 1. So usually Talisman of Precision is used on like a support hero like Anwin or Caladrix, or someone who really doesn't care about item slots. If you care about item slots, I would recommend not taking Precision because you can probably do better things with it. But if you have an extra item slot or you don't take items at all, I would really recommend taking it, especially for like Gath. Gath has a lot of one-ranged attacking units, ranged units, so Precision really helps piercing through Knight's armor and all that. So, the one change I would make Precision have is make it so that it could go through Evasion 1-2. It's just my opinion. That's what I would do, but I think it's fine as is. And Downy Pillow is 1 gold. You can skip an action to heal 1. This is more of like a meme thing. There's a build out there where you make your hero as hard to kill as possible, and you take like 12 of these, and then you just skip with your hero every time he takes damage. So he heals the full essentially every time. It's a funny build, but I think Downy Pillow is fine. I don't think it. Maybe make it out a passive so it can't be broken. So it's really funny because you can't break a pillow. Come on, it's a pillow. So make it out a passive so it's always active. You can't break it. But anyway, that's all the items. I completely forgot about changes, but I mean, I think most items are fine. I think the really ones that are bad are the charms, I think I talked my opinions enough, so those are all the items, and that's all of my opinions for things I would want for Season 2. I hope you enjoyed the video in this series. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you in the next video.